Hey internet, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a different type of video. I'm actually just going to walk you guys through what I did in my bullet journal for March because I didn't end up filming a setup video. I think the timing just didn't work out. I had a lot going on, and now, as you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, so my motivation hasn't been as high to want to film. Like, I feel like I've been benefiting a lot more from planning. Like, I've actually been planning way more now that we're essentially in self-isolation. I know right now, as of today, filming 29th of March, that Australia, especially Victoria, isn't in like lockdown or anything like that, but I feel like most people will be doing their best to stay home as much as possible, and that's what I've been doing. And to cope with like a lot of things going on, I've been planning a lot more because it does help. But relaxed planning requires not filming anything, like just sitting at my desk with some nice music or a movie and just planning my journals. So I've actually started another journal, which I know is going to seem excessive given I just showed you a bunch of journals like the other week, but it does help calm me down. So I'll walk you through that journal when it's a little bit more set up. Right now it's just a few pages, so it's not really comprehensive enough. But I did want to share with you what I did in March, and maybe I could just do like a general chit chat update, how things are going, because after this one I'm going to see if I can film my April bullet journal setup video. So yeah, let's get into this. So this is the cover for March. I decided to go with a vegetable theme because, as you guys may probably know, picking up from all my previous journaling videos, I've gotten really into gardening now that Tobias and I have our own place. We have not a huge backyard, but a decent amount of space to propagate vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. I've sprouted a ton of seedlings. I feel like I don't have the greenest thumb, so I have like a 50% success rate going, but it's pretty good. In fact, tonight we're actually going to be cooking pasta with some of the zucchini that we managed to grow. I'm super proud. The zucchini is massive. I'm actually going to vlog it, so if you want to see what's happening in my personal life, then be sure to check out my vlog channel. Tell me your Fable, I'll link it down below. But yeah, I felt like March was kind of this month where, with everything going on, people are just kind of self-isolating a bit more, spending more time at home, and that meant I was spending a lot more time nurturing the garden and trying to figure out what could I grow, what couldn't I grow, because in Victoria, Australia, we're slowly headed into winter. Right now it's autumn, but a couple more months will be in winter, which means there's a lot of things we can't grow, especially in Melbourne, just because we are much closer to Antarctica. It is quite cold during winter, so things like, actually the majority of the stuff won't grow. A lot of underground, like root vegetables, radish, I've got daikon here, onions, that stuff, or carrots, that might grow, so I'm going to give that a shot and see how we are. But if you lived in like Queensland, I think you'd have better success because the temperature is just generally a little bit warmer. But funnily enough, because of everything that's going on, there's like a seedling shortage because everyone's buying seeds, and I really wanted to buy a beautiful glass greenhouse so that I could, I think that's called, what it's called, greenhouse. Essentially, it's like a little cubby house. It's all glass, so I can put all these like vegetables that require warmer weather in to grow. But I think that's going to be tough to get now as well, just because everybody's spending time at home, spending time in the garden. I think it's all kind of related, but that's all good. But yeah, I really love this setup, and I like that I had time to just kind of draw and experiment and just really have fun with it. So this is probably the most interesting page for my March setup. The rest of it is going to be a little bit on the boring side, but that's okay. So as I said, it's a little bit more plain, but sometimes I really like just plain as well. It doesn't always need to be super elaborate. I've got some sun coming through, but that should be fine. So this is my habit tracker because I have been working from home for, well, on and off, but about 2+ weeks now. So I have not been walking. Even my Japanese lessons are now all remote, so I pretty much don't leave the house unless it's to do groceries. We have left a little bit for home renovation stuff because we want to keep that going, because not all the house is fully utilized, and so we want to given we're spending so much time at home, we want to get the house renovations going. But I have this sneaking suspicion it's not going to happen, especially if Melbourne goes into lockdown. Then it's probably going to get pushed back and delayed, but it is what it is. But I do need to figure out how to increase my step count, because I can already feel myself getting like way less healthy, snacking way more, and just it's just not a good spot to be in to not exercise. So I need to figure out how to increase this. But I've been upping my vitamins, so that's good because I think the anxiety in me is just like, take more vitamins. Whether it works or not, I have no idea, but maybe it's kind of like a mental soothing thing. And YouTube, I've actually been doing a lot more work around YouTube and a little bit of exercise. I took up yoga last week, but I think I'm going to switch it up for some HIIT training instead because I don't feel like yoga is active enough for me. It's a little bit too slow at the moment, and I think I need something a bit more distracting than that. So yeah. And bubble tea, well, the only way I can get bubble tea right now is because, as you know, since last week they've pretty much shut down all restaurants, cafes and stuff unless you do takeaway. So I've been like trying to do as much takeaway for bubble tea and just generally as possible to try and support the industry. But that also means that I've not been eating so good, and that's bad because I've not been walking as much because I don't go to physical like work or physical places anymore. So April's gonna be the month where I try to balance that out, maybe. And then this is my mood. I think it's pretty like, I started off not so great for a number of reasons, and then it got really good, and then the whole situation kind of really went hard around this part of March, and especially in Melbourne, and it's just been like kind of meh since. So yeah, but I'm hoping April's gonna be a lot better. Even though things are probably gonna lock down more, I am really focusing on trying to have a more positive attitude. And I think having the other planner I'm working on, which is kind of like just a wellness planner really, and then you'll see April's theme, which has been making me very happy as well. So yeah. So this is the monthly view, which is a little bit more colorful. I still have all my Japanese lessons, and you can see I had some social stuff on that's just slowly been cancelled. We had the cookies session, which is just my software development team. That we did remotely, so it's fine, but like we had a movie night, a birthday, some book club, all of that had to get cancelled because I just didn't want to risk going out seeing friends and just not knowing what was going to happen. So yeah, unfortunately, it is what it is. I'm really glad that James's birthday was so early in the month because it meant that we got to take him out for lunch still, and we got to enjoy that. So yeah, all good. And then, as you can see here, I have a little isolation plan because the thing is, I love spending time at home. I just love pottering about. I love working on like stickers and planners, and just I'm a very homey sort of person, and so there are so many things I want to get through here, and especially with pending renovations, I need to take a lot of measurements for different parts of the house that we want to get renovated. Like I want to redo our wardrobes, and I think I mentioned the three main things is kitchen, laundry, and the master bathroom, and then the master bedroom. Those are probably the three biggest things that we need help to get moving because they require so much like plumbing and electrical stuff, and they're quite big. Everything else, like my office and pretty much everyone else, I think we're gonna do ourselves. It's just gonna be painting, installing new things. It's gonna be so much fun. A lot of work, but so much fun at the same time. So some of this stuff is all related to that, but there's just been other things that I've been dying to do that I haven't, like Skillshare trading. We have a Skillshare subscription, and yet I've never used it. So I really, really want to get onto that. I am looking to move, maybe not move, but like open a Shopify version of my Etsy shop just because the fees are insane. So I've had that for ages and I really need to get into it. There's just so many things. So you can see I've knocked off a few things actually. There's one more thing I can actually knock off, and that is finish the Pokemon game. So Pokemon Shield I finished last night, which is why I started a new game, which is the theme for April. That's one thing knocked off. I'm really hoping I can finish this off before things start going back to normal, which I think is a pretty good plan. So if I can get all this done, I actually have way more than this, but this is all I could fit in this list, so I don't know if I'll transfer into April or not. I might, we'll see. So I decided, it doesn't look very finished. Sometimes I like to come back and add a little bit more, like little bits and pieces just to make it feel a little bit more cohesive. But one thing I realized with this book is that if I kept doing weekly spreads, like if I kept doing things like this where I use 2 pages for an entire week, because I think I only have 190 pages in this book, I am going to run out. And by the time I hit like October, November, I will be at the end of the book, which would really bum me out because I don't really want to start a brand new bullet journal. I'd like to keep as many, I just want to keep the year in one book. So what I decided to do is start trying to, here and there, put an entire week on just one page and then a second week on this page. And actually I like this way more because I can see from week to week how things are going, as opposed to here. I find it really hard, like it just feels like everything's too spread out. I've got this, and then if I'm especially because I do transfers, you can see some of the activities, I don't get them done all in one week. I transfer them here. It just feels too spaced out. Like way too spaced out. So I actually really like this setup. So I think I'm going forward, I'll still have some which are like, I'll still have some weeks which are across 2 pages, but I think for the majority, I'm going to do 1 page per week. That's going to save me a lot of space. I'll probably end up with actually extra pages at the end, which isn't a bad thing because it allows me to add a few additional pages. Like if I wanted to do, say, a sleep tracker, or I wanted to do, well, not anymore. I was going to do a holiday planner at the end of April because I was planning to go to Japan and Korea in early May, but that's all been cancelled because of everything that's been going on. But there'll be other things that come up. Maybe I'll have pages on renovation steps, things that I want to do. I don't know. It could be all sorts of stuff. So it gives me a little bit more flexibility to have these sort of standalone pages if the weekly pages are just taking up a day. And quite honestly, when I refer back to bullet journals or when I refer back to this, I don't come back and look at specific weeks. I tend to look at the annual pages. So things like this is the stuff that I often refer back to. This is like my video list. So you can see it's starting to fill out. So yeah, but I carried across the color theme. I didn't necessarily draw any vegetables. This was my attempt at like washi tape, because the thing is, I see a lot of people put stickers in their bullet journal and washi tape in their bullet journal. And I love all that stuff. You guys know I'm like a big fan of all that, but my bullet journal is already, it's not like it's a ring bound planner where there's space for it to like expand. It's pretty much it. And so if I put stickers in this, part of me is just thinking, I'm just going to make this book thicker and thicker, and then it's going to fan out. And I'm not a big fan of books that fan out. I know it seems like kind of nitty gritty, but that's just how I feel, which is part of why I started a different planner that would allow me to just go really crazy with the stickers. That's why I have the Erin Condren planner. So rather than stick actual washi paper, I've been trying to draw washi paper down. Not sure how successful it's been, but that's my attempt. And this is the following week. So right now we're here. I am filming the March bullet journal flip through as we speak, but this was last week. Yeah, and pretty much this month for me has been, at the start of the month, it seemed pretty okay. I mean, we already knew stuff was happening, but we were slowly sort of, especially my job, we were slowly moving into a work from home sort of basis, and now we're pretty much fully working from home. But I think like everyone, there's a lot of anxiety and stress as to like the uncertainty of what's going to happen. And I think I'm lucky enough right now that I still have my job, but like who knows what's going to happen in even like another week or a few days. So that sort of stays front of mind for me, just because having just bought a house, having wanted to do renovations, if one of us does get stood down, then we're going to have to put that stuff on hold, which sucks. But I mean, at least we're still in a position where we can feed ourselves, we can clothe ourselves, we have a roof over our head. And so I'm eternally grateful for that. And all our friends and family, you know, touch wood, are healthy right now. So I try to just focus on that. If something goes wrong with our jobs, we'll figure it out. But yeah, my heart really does go out to people who are just not in the same position, and I'm glad that at least I get to work from home for now. So long as my job is still around, I get to work from home, so that's a good thing as well. Even though and this is just kind of like a first world problem, working from home is slowly driving me insane. I just feel like I spend all day on video calls. But yeah, I mean, I still have a job, so I'm just gonna be thankful for that. But yeah, that is pretty much my entire March. I don't think I have anything else to add really. It has been a pretty interesting month, pretty turbulent for most people, I would say. I am very curious to know how April's gonna go. I am grateful that we have the Easter break coming up, so at least that will be some time to just shut off. And I don't know, the thing is, I love being at home, but I think the fact that we have to be at home is probably the more straining part of it all. But I also know there's always options, like at least we have a backyard to go out to, and we can always go for drives. So yeah, I don't know, it's really hard. Like, everyone's going through some level of stress regarding it, and it's really hard to, I would say it's hard to complain sometimes, because there is always someone doing it worse. So you kind of have to be really self-aware about how, well, at least not you, but like I know that I have to be really self-aware of how fortunate I am in so many other ways. And so I feel like my instinct, my natural reaction is to complain. And then I think, Celina, you just need to not complain and just be grateful and see what you can do to help people. So that's part of why I've been really, really fixated on trying to get my videos out on time, trying to vlog more, just trying to provide a little bit of entertainment, because it not only helps distract me from having to think about what's happening in the current world, but I'm really hopeful that maybe it's an outlet for someone else where they can watch it and they just kind of escape all the unpleasantness in the world right now. So yeah, I'll try to keep the rest of my videos a little bit more lighthearted. I feel like this one was a bit of a different one because I never really do a flip through, and I decided to do a flip through this time as a change. But yes, I'm gonna go finish off this video and then start filming my April videos. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are all safe and well, look after each other, and things will get better. So yes, thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.